League PeakDay podcast, where we discuss fertility and NFP with friends. I'm your host, Martha Haenni, and today's guest is Alejandra Martinez. She is a couple-to-couple league NFP coach, a regional parish rep, and she teaches natural family planning with her husband, Xavier, who is also a coach. Alejandra will be joining me on the PeakDay podcast as a co-host, so I am excited to introduce her today. Hello, Alejandra.
Hi, Martha. I'm very happy to be with you today. I'm very excited about this new podcast. I love podcasts. I think they are a really wonderful way of learning and knowing about things we don't know.
Exactly. We are going to be launching the update of the app very soon, and
Yes.
The app is called the PeakDay app. You are involved with the launch of the PeakDay app. Can you talk a little bit about maybe comparing the app, the new app, with the old version?
Okay, so we have been using the old version for 3 years now with our Spanish speaking couples, because our Spanish course is based on the use of the app. The new app has different functions, newer functions that the old app didn't have. So there are more ways of you to chart different symptoms. So you can really use the app to bring very important information to your doctor about what's happening in your cycles, because you have a way to chart everything more accurately with the new app. Of course, the looks is better. It's easier to use. The old app was, designed several years ago, and with technology, everything is changing constantly. So this is more up to date with technology.
Great.
Right? We are trying to work with hoping in the future have a thermometer that will work with the app. So many new things that the old version didn't have.
So what are you most excited about with the new PeakDay app?
What I'm more excited about is going to be easier for me to communicate with my students. So they will be able to share their chart with me. And before I needed to go into my computer to see their charts, now it's going to be easier. When they want to share their chart with me, it's going to be easier. So I will be able to help them. Doesn't matter where am I, just with my cell phone, I will be able to help them.
So is there anything else that you've noticed in the testing that is going to be an improvement?
Yes, for the couples to be able to chart, it's easier to chart now. So before there was a little bit of things that needed to improvement. So now it's going to be easier to. Women can start tracking their charts and see if there is any difference. And women know something is different this month. So now they could compare with the month before or 2 months before and see, okay, am I right? This is different.
So what about for young women or women who are not, anticipating marriage right away and would be using it for a different, in a different way? How could a single woman use the PeakDay app?
This is very, very interesting, because I did some recording with a doctor just a few days back, and I asked the doctor, so doctor, when do you think a young woman should start charting? Not in the sense of using, right, the family planning, but just to know how her cycle is behaving. And she said, I think right when they have their first period. Oh. Because it's a map for your health. It's going to show a lot of information that is going to be helpful for this young lady to deal with problems if she shows any, like I said, heavy bleeding, painful,
Mhm.
or too long periods, or
Mhm.
very short periods. So anything that could give information to a doctor that is trained in natural family planning is going to be very helpful for this
Mhm.
young woman, instead of taking a pill that is going to not fix the problem but maybe create more problems in the future. Is
Mhm.
going to give her a lot of information.
Mhm.
And also, I met a couple, and they were instructors, so they taught her daughter to start charting soon before
Mhm.
she was married, and they realized she was going to have some fertility problems.
Oh.
So she was able to focus and take care of that part. And then when she got married, they knew. So it prepares you in a way for what the future can bring.
And it helps you with the, assistance of your doctor address
Ex-
any, things that can be addressed and improved.
exactly. Like we do our annual exam, right? The doctors, you go
Mhm.
and do your testing and everything. Well, this will be part of that, showing what had been
Right.
happening in your last year or before, if there's something that is concerning, right? Like a
Mhm.
woman that is bleeding frequently and she knows she's not ovulating, because learning natural family planning, you can know for certain that a bleeding is from ovulation,
Mhm.
which is menstruation or not.
Mhm.
So if that's happening, you are bleeding and you are not ovulated, something is wrong with your body, and your
Mhm.
doctor should be able to address that uh, problem. If there's a problem, right?
Right.
If it's
Right.
an hormonal imbalance, or there's a cyst, so what is causing this bleeding that it's not
Mhm.
coming from ovulation?
Right. Right. Yeah. So the PeakDay app will be useful in so many more ways than just
Yes,
charting.
yes, because then the girls can learn, am I ovulating or not ovulating, or what's happening. And then
Mhm.
all the information that you are going to collect on the app can be shared with a doctor also. That's another of the
Mhm. Mhm.
functions that is
Mhm.
going to be very helpful. That the trained doctor could see your chart and then make the appropriate recommendations. We have always the function for couples to share their chart. The man is able to look at the chart, and we have many young couples. This is a very beautiful thing to see the young men get involved with their wives and knowing how they work and they take care of the chart. This is very beautiful.
Mhm.
So they will continue to be able to share the chart so they can see and know what's happening in their wife's body. It is very exciting. It's going to
Mhm.
be opening a lot of new opportunities to help our students.
Do you have one piece of advice that you would give to a newly engaged couple?
Well, a piece of advice will be talk, never stop talking, right? And the advice that I have been hearing constantly is about the daily date for the couple. And it's not that I do it, it's because I'm not doing it that I recommend to do it. Because really, when you stop communicating with your partner, life gets busy, and then you don't know what's going on in each other's lives. So
Mhm.
don't think that the time you spend together is not, it's a luxury, because it's not a luxury, it's an essential part of your marriage. So
Mhm.
just
Beautiful. Yeah,
doing it, do
communication
it.
is so key. Yeah. And I know that, when we took our natural family planning course, way back 30 plus years ago, that was a big key for us, was just talking about it And it really made a difference in how we communicated about a lot of other things than just, charting. It, kind of spilled over into, other areas of the marriage.
Yes, yes, that's right. Because, if you, it's like exercise actually, right? You do a little bit, do a little bit, but constantly is going to help rather than don't do anything ever.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. So, if you could change the world, Alejandra, what do you think would help getting more couples interested in natural family planning?
Well, with all the years of experience, what I notice is that uh, education is missing this important part in general, right? Like we do biology and we learn how our bodies work, but this part that is essential, right? Because it's for giving life. We don't know exactly how it works. Like many women come to our classes thinking I know my body, but then they discover there's this thing called mucus that they have noticed, but they don't know what what is the purpose of this mucus is.
Mm-hmm.
They have no idea that the temperature will rise a certain point in their cycle.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know what affects their cycles, right? So I will change the way we teach young people about their bodies, especially
Mm-hmm.
women. I will make an effort that doctors understand that too,
Mm-hmm.
and also that they learn how natural family planning works, because it's like a myth like that natural family planning doesn't work, but really I don't think they have the right idea of what natural family planning is,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Science had advanced. Many discoveries have helped develop what we are using now. So a little bit more of the education in different levels, doctors, nurses, schools, right? So they can instruct human beings,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
showing them how we really work.
Right. So you and Javier are both coaches at this point. Not only did you teach natural family planning for many years now, you are both coaching. So can you tell me a little bit about coaching and what that entails for couples?
Well, coaching is a way of helping couples that need a little bit more help, right? When you take the course, you get some consultations with your coach, but we have couples that want a more close help to them, right? Like reviewing more often their charts, coming to you with stages in life where everything is changing and they need more help. So coaching is designed to help people that has a specific um, no problem but situation, right? Like I have some students that are dealing with thyroid cancer or PSCO, PCOS, or menopause. So different things in life that can require a little bit more of help than
Mm-hmm.
just the course and your instructor giving you advice.
So you and your husband have been teaching natural family planning for 19 years.
Yes.
Would you say that when a young woman and a couple do learn about the natural, rhythms of her body, do you see light bulbs going off? What kind of reaction do you see with young women, especially when they learn about all of these things that are happening in their body that they're just not aware of?
You know, uh, young women are open to do more things the natural way nowadays. With all this green movement around us, they understand that chemicals are not good for their bodies. Some of them have had bad experiences with using contraceptives, and they are tired. Some of them come tired of using them. Some of them come with uh, the desire to change, because this is just making me feel sick. It's affecting my mood. It's affecting my mind. Some women have already recognized that their minds are affected by chemicals. And then when they see their chart before when they were using contraceptives and after, they can see the difference. They can see how their body works, and that's very rewarding, that they feel free, right? My body is free of chemicals. My body is working now the way it's supposed to be. And several students, young students that have gone through that process, it's very, very rewarding to see them. And they are happy. They are happy seeing the difference and knowing they are free of chemicals.
Mm-hmm. Would you say that that is one of the reasons why you and your husband continue to teach natural family planning after all of these years?
Yes, we believe that this is the best secret that the church has, is natural family planning and their advantages. So we keep teaching because we know there's many people in the world that doesn't know about this gift, because it's really a gift. So we keep going because, yes, we want more people to learn about being free. And of course, marriage is being stronger by this knowledge.
Alejandra, how did you and your husband first decide that you would like to teach and share natural family planning with others?
Well, our journey with natural family planning has been planned, of course, not by us. We have been led by hand to this path. So the first step was learning. Before we were married, a nurse, that's what I think nurses are very important, and they need to know about natural family planning, because it was through a nurse that I learned there was a way of plan without chemicals. So this lady graciously suggested, and that was her approach. Do you know there's a way of doing your planning without any chemicals or any devices? I said, of course, no, I didn't. And she said, well, she recommended that I buy a book that explained the method, which I did. I was not married at the time, and we did buy the books, and we didn't understood anything, which was strange, because the book's supposed to be designed to help others learn the method. We didn't learn it. We got married, and then a few months after, there was an ad at our church inviting to join a class. So we were led to the class. We took the class. It was a very joyful time, and we learned a lot. And then it makes sense to us what we were supposed to be learning. So classes are very important. Sometimes, yes, some people learn by their own, but an instructor is really good. I mean, they have the experience and they can answer questions, right? So the class was very important. Then we moved to the States. We learned a different method, which is now the beauty of natural family planning. There is not just one method. There are several methods that you can choose. You can discern which one is better for you, for your family, your budget, your time, learning, everything. And then when we learned the second method, somebody invited us to take the next step, which was to be instructors. Because instructors in an area were moving, and they needed somebody to take their place. So we were invited by the promoters of the method, and that's how we took the class and fall in love with teaching.
Well, I think that wraps up the PeakDay podcast for today. So thank you, Alejandra Martinez, for joining me. And I look forward to us co-hosting the PeakDay podcast going forward.